Don Bosco was born on the 16th of August 1815 to the east of Turin. From a very early age, he decided that he would dedicate his life to helping young people. He wanted to become a priest to help them morally, and he wanted to help them educationally by assisting them to cope with the world around them. He was ordained in June 1841 and began his work for the poor youth of the city of Turin. Don Bosco dedicated his life to healing the young. He himself worked tirelessly throughout his life for the young people of Turin and beyond until his death on January 31st, 1888, at the age of 73. In 1934, Pope Pius XI canonized St. John Bosco as saint of the Catholic Church, and in 1988, Pope John Paul II called him father and teacher of youth.
Don Bosco had a unique ability to be at ease with the young who were homeless, illiterate and in need. Young people flocked to him for education and shelter. He fought for the rights of and proper working conditions for the young. His fame and his work spread. People began to see Don Bosco as an extraordinarily holy man. He was making the seemingly impossible possible. As his work grew, many young men came forward to help him. They became the first members of his religious congregation known as Salesians.
Don Bosco had a great admiration for St. Francis de Sales. Francis, who was born near Geneva, 21st of August 1567, was patron saint of Piedmont and Savoy, and much loved by Don Bosco. He admired his joyful, optimistic spirituality and simplicity of life. St. Francis used a simple metaphor to sum up his work when he said, "You can catch more flies with a spoonful of honey than a barrelful of vinegar." In other words, love is stronger than violence or force of any kind. Because of the gentleness of his approach, he chose him as the patron of the congregation, hence the name Salesian.
Over time, these three elements, education, family and faith, would be at the core of Don Bosco's interventions for the young people at the heart of the Salesian ethos. He wanted education to be holistic. Family values would provide this environment. Faith provided the motivation and inspiration to meet daily challenges that can arise when working with young people and young adults. Faith also provided the values to be offered to all the young. Taken together, all the three elements give rise to Don Bosco's stated aim for his work, namely the education of young people who would give back to society by being good Christians and honest citizens.
As a first-year student, I see the work of Don Bosco as the perfect friend in our Kangol and Kinnery teams. They help first years through the transformation from being the oldest in primary school to the youngest in this school. They guide us just like Don Bosco guided the young. We get to build brilliant relationships with the Kangol members as they have lunch with us every day. They are role models to us and many of them inspire us just like Don Bosco inspired others.
I have seen the vision of Don Bosco as the perfect friend in my school through all of the sports teams. This makes us able to improve ourselves and teaches us to acknowledge our strengths. There are many different sports in our school, so there is something for everyone. For example, there is rugby, GAA, soccer and badminton. We even have table tennis for our lunch breaks. Our school strives to take care for all young people, just like Don Bosco did.
Our school follows the vision of Don Bosco as the perfect friend, as we raise funds for charities such as the St. Vincent de Paul. We always do fundraisers for St. Vincent de Paul at Christmas to help those in need. This is similar to when Don Bosco helped those in need in Turin. We also have smaller fundraisers throughout the year, such as cake sales, and give the money to those in need at that time.
The idea of Don Bosco as the perfect friend can be seen in our school through the family values that were highly regarded by Don Bosco. Don Bosco promoted an enjoyable and helpful educational experience, and this can be seen in our school through the positive relationship that exists between the teachers and the students. This is quite a unique thing, and one that should be valued. The positive relationships that we have with the teachers can be seen on a daily basis, and this means that the teachers are able to educate the students in a holistic way, something that Don Bosco always strived for and encouraged in education.
Happy Feast of Don Bosco!